Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And in just days, live on the WWE Network, a man who has gone through a complete renaissance, all because of a beautiful woman, takes on the Celtic Colossus for the NXT World Championship. Also, 4 of NXT's top-tier female talents will clash in a fatal 4-way to determine a new NXT Women's Champion. And finally, a match that is so brutal, so devastating, that it hasn't been seen in over 20 years, as a group that call this era that they are living in their own, takes on 2 other groups, one of which who will purge for the victory, and the other who has nothing on their mind other than to cause pure pain as they clash in War Games. But before it's time for that changed man to take on the Celtic Colossus, before it's time to crown a new NXT Women's Champion, before it's time to play the War Games, it's time for the rundown! Thank you guys so much for tuning into yet another video right here on YouTube.com. You already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is, of course, the rundown for NXT TakeOver War Games, which is streaming live this Saturday, live on the WWE Network at 7 p.m. Of course, the pre-show starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, real show starting at 8 p.m. And we are going to go over each and every single one of the matches, and boy, oh boy, am I excited for War Games. So, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to dive right into the matches. So, I'm going to start off this rundown by talking about a match that was recently announced. It was announced last week. Kassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan. Kassius Ohno, we all know, has been on a momentous streak with numerous victories over Hideo Itami, Fabian Aichner, Cesar Bononi, and he came to Mr. Regal's office and he asked for Lars, and Mr. Regal granted his wish. So now we got Lars Sullivan versus Kassius Ohno, and Lars Sullivan, of course, he's been on a tear with victories over Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch. He's basically on his way to becoming NXT's version of Braun Strowman. This is going to be a true clash of the Titans. This is going to be a hard-hitting match. And let me tell you something. The last time Kassius Ohno had a brutally hard-hitting match was back with Aleister Black. I think that if my calculations are correct, this match might trump the Aleister Black Kassius Ohno match. Lars Sullivan and Kassius Ohno. And let me tell you something. Lars Sullivan, he can do a lot of things that a normal big man his size shouldn't be able to do. Same thing with Kassius Ohno. So we're going to get a clash of 2 very athletic big men. Now, of course, we all know that Kassius Ohno is looking to get back into the NXT Championship picture. Lars Sullivan, yeah, he's on his way to becoming NXT's new monster heel. So it would really make sense to give that win to Lars Sullivan. That's the only outcome I really see. I do not know how we get there. How we get there, that's the fun part. But for Kassius Ohno, I'm not really sure where Kassius Ohno goes after this. Because, you know, as we know, I have a feeling this is just going to be a one-time thing. A lot of matches on NXT television, sometimes at takeovers, more so the undercard. The undercard I'm talking about, like, you know, like the first match, or like, you know, the third match, or this or that. The matches that aren't championship matches. The matches that are not championship matches are normally the matches that are usually a one-and-done situation, like Gargano and Almas, or Aleister Black and Hideo Itami, or Roderick Strong and Eric Young. One-and-done deals. Never happens again. They're great matches, but they never happen again. And I have a feeling that this might be a one-and-done situation, although I do not want it to be a one-and-done situation, because I believe that Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan, they could have a brutal 12, 13-minute match if these guys are given the proper amount of time. I mean, put it this way. NXT gives just the right amount of time, but, you know, there's some matches that I wish could really just go on a little bit longer, like the Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate match at NXT TakeOver Chicago. I wish that would have gone on another 10 minutes. That would have been considered a definite match of the year, no problem. But as far as the match goes, Lars Sullivan, clean cut victory to Cassius Ohno with that beautiful waist lift spine buster. Where Cassius Ohno goes after NXT TakeOver War Games, I do not know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, onto a match that I am very much interested in. Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. And let me tell you something. There have been a lot of feuds on NXT, whether it be in the NXT Women's title picture, the undercard, NXT World title picture. But this feud with the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black, this has been my favorite feud on WWE programming, period. Doesn't matter if it's NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. And the last time I was genuinely interested in a feud with, you know, all of my excitement was back during 2015 with the Undertaker-Lesnar feud. How Lesnar ended the streak and Undertaker would go to any and all lengths to get his redemption, which led to a fantastic Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell 2015. But this feud with Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream has been fantastic. You know, with Patrick Clark, Velveteen Dream, coming out saying, everything that fades to black must step into the light. Basically just trying to get Aleister Black to say his name, just to say his name, and Aleister Black just keeping it calm, cool, and collective. Not doing anything, not even looking at him. And now we get to NXT TakeOver War Games in just 3 days. And let me tell you something. Aleister Black, we all know, is a bona fide superstar. Without a doubt. He is a superstar, and without a doubt, I have a feeling that he could be challenging for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver Philly, if things go as planned. Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, let me tell you something. At first, I really didn't think that this gimmick would work out for Patrick Clark, because when I was watching Patrick Clark during Tough Enough, I would see him as this underdog type of character, not this flamboyant Prince knockoff. And I don't really even want to use that because it sounds kind of insulting. But now that I see what Patrick Clark has done with this Velveteen Dream character, he's gone all in on it. And there are not many guys in the company that you find that go all in, let alone on a character like that. Patrick Clark has done everything in his power to make that character work, and the intensity and aggression that he's brought to the Velveteen Dream character, it just enhances him even more. And without a doubt, he is going to be a top player in NXT if he is to remain in NXT for a couple more years. However, the ending, there's only one way that match is ending. Velveteen Dream, I'm sorry, but that light is going to fade to black as you are going to catch a black mass kick. And I have a feeling that this match is going to be a very innovative match. And let me tell you something. If the War Games match was not on the show, I have a feeling that this match would be match of the night. It's going to be a great damn match. Apart from War Games, it will be the best non-stipulation match of the night. But something that concerns me is where would Velveteen Dream go? I mean, with the way that they've been building up Velveteen Dream, the way how he's been gaining most of the momentum, he's been gaining the victories. He ambushed Aleister Black, just started slapping him while he was tied up in the ropes, saying, "Say my name." And then Aleister Black, he hasn't really done that much. He's just been kind of sitting back, very relaxed, and not really doing too much. I get that that's his character, but it's almost like they're building up Velveteen Dream so much, only to have Aleister Black just take all his momentum away. And I don't really want to bash Aleister Black, because Aleister Black, he's one of my favorite NXT superstars today. I really don't want to bash him. But where would Velveteen Dream go? If this is a one-and-done situation, then what does Patrick Clark have left to do? But, I will have all the faith in Triple H and the NXT board of directors to make him a star. Because NXT, you go to NXT, they'll make you a star. They'll get you over with any type of gimmick possible. Look at No Way Jose. If you put that on the main roster, and what we have nowadays, he would be a jobber, just like Kurt Hawkins. But No Way Jose now, everyone's getting up out of their seats and dancing with them. It showed at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 last year. But as far as the outcome for Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream, Black Mass to Velveteen Dream, and Aleister Black wins, possibly goes on to fight on for the NXT Championship. We're just going to have to wait and see. Now, on to the NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. We got Kairi Sane, we got Ember Moon, we got Peyton Royce, and we got Nikki Cross. And all four women have earned their way into this match through a series of qualifying matches, and of course with Kairi Sane winning the inaugural Mae Young Classic. As far as I see it, there are 2 out of the 4 women who are in top contention of walking out NXT Women's Champion. And those 2 women are Nikki Cross and Ember Moon. Ember Moon, as we know, has been on the receiving end of a couple of huge losses to Asuka. And to me, I really think they missed the boat on Ember Moon. I feel as though Ember Moon was the only deserving woman to defeat Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. And they could have possibly given us an epic moment at TakeOver Brooklyn 3. And we could have had a clean sweep, all titles changed hands. But they want to build Asuka up as an undefeated badass. Okay, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I applaud Asuka for everything that she's done, and she's only going to continue to get better. Asuka has never gone backwards. She always goes forwards. But Ember Moon, I feel as though it's been a big setback for Ember Moon, and they've kind of portrayed her as an underdog in a way. So this would be her big break. And Ember Moon would walk out of here, or walk out of NXT TakeOver War Games as NXT Women's Champion. Then, of course, you got Nikki Cross, who has been on the receiving end of a screw job from the Undisputed Era with Tainara Conti. So it would make sense for Nikki Cross to become NXT Women's Champion, as Sanity still holds the NXT Tag Team titles. But the way I see it, and the way I would, play this out is, I do want Kairi Sane to become NXT Women's Champion, but I don't feel as though she's ready. She's only been built up over the course of, about 3 months with the Mae Young Classic, and I feel as though she could improve. All I see when I look at her is the next Asuka, but the way that she's been portrayed, and don't get me wrong, she is a fantastic performer. She has a fantastic gimmick. She is over as hell with the crowd. But at this point, I feel as though it's just a little too soon. Same thing, how they built up Asuka. It took Asuka 6 months. You just give Kairi Sane just a little more time, then you can give the title to her. So I would give the title to Ember Moon and build Ember Moon up and have Ember Moon drop the title to Kairi Sane at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. So Ember Moon walks out of TakeOver War Games, NXT Women's Champion. Now, we got Drew McIntyre, the Celtic Colossus, as Nigel McGuinness calls him, defending the NXT World Championship against El Idolo, La Sombra. I can never get enough of Almas. Almas, he is in my top 5 favorite NXT superstars list. No question. Almas is fantastic, and ever since he's had this renaissance with Zelina Vega, he has only been made to look like a star. He's been made to look like a complete beast, taking the gum out of Zelina Vega's mouth, sticking it to the contract, sticking it on Drew McIntyre, just saying, Drew McIntyre, you're scared of me, you're scared to fight me, and Zelina Vega playing the arrogant heel manager to the best of her abilities. And Andrade Cien Almas, he's got a hot 4-month streak behind him. It doesn't matter if Zelina Vega was responsible for some of the victories or she wasn't. Andrade Cien Almas, he has gotten more mainstream attention in the last 4 months than he's had in the first year of his NXT career. And I am loving that Almas is getting this NXT Championship opportunity. But you have to ask yourself the question, and this is where the high unpredictability factor comes in. Remember how I said in the rundown for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, there's always that high unpredictability factor with NXT, and no matter who wins, both guys come out looking like beasts, no matter who they are. But you take a look at Almas and you take a look at McIntyre. McIntyre's reign is only 3 months. And I get that they're trying to build up McIntyre as a worthy champion, as a fighting champion. You take a look at Almas, and with the streak that Almas has been on, it would make sense to give him the NXT Championship. But then you look at McIntyre, and you see what they have going on with McIntyre, and then you take a look at Aleister Black. I believe that the big-time money match for NXT TakeOver Philly and possibly a rematch at NXT TakeOver New Orleans is Drew McIntyre versus Aleister Black. I don't really see it any other way. But Andrade Cien Almas, you know something? I'm actually going to go with a bold prediction here, and I'm going to call Andrade Cien Almas, and I don't even care if I get it wrong, Andrade Cien Almas to walk out of TakeOver War Games as NXT Champion. If Drew McIntyre wins, where does Almas really go from here? Where does he go? I mean, like, put it this way. Like I said with Velveteen Dream, I have all faith in Triple H and the NXT Board of Directors that they're going to make all the guys that lose and all the people that lose at NXT TakeOvers, I have all faith that they're going to make them look like beasts and superstars, and they're going to make them into something larger than life. But with the streak that Almas has been on, it would make the most sense for Almas to come out victorious. I like Drew McIntyre, don't get me wrong. Drew McIntyre, I felt that it was a long time coming for Drew McIntyre when he finally became NXT Champion. And if he beats Almas, so be it. I will be completely fine with it. But as far as NXT TakeOver goes, I'm going to call it. Right down the middle, Almas wins. Now, time for War Games. As Mauro Ranallo said it, Houston, we have a War Games. It's going to be the NXT Tag Team Champions Sanity, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane versus the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, baby, versus the Authors of Pain, Akam Rezar, and Roderick Strong. Now, this match, the build for it has been phenomenal. I've really enjoyed the way that they have portrayed all three of these teams. Well, mainly two factions and one newly formed faction with the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong. I feel as though it's very innovative, it's new, it's refreshing. But as far as the Authors of Pain go, this is the Authors of Pain's last match. This is their send-off from NXT. And as far as the Undisputed Era and Sanity goes, Another high unpredictability factor rate. It always comes into these matches. You know, Sanity's the NXT Tag Team Champions. It would kind of make sense for them to come out victorious, but then you got the Undisputed Era, who burst on the scene at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, and they've just been on an absolute tear. They've just been doing whatever the hell that they want. They've been attacking Sanity. They've been attacking McIntyre. They've been attacking the Authors of Pain. They don't care. So, it would make sense for me to say that Roderick Strong, I have that feeling in the back of my mind, and I have a feeling a lot of people feel this way as well. Roderick Strong is going to turn heel. He is going to betray the Authors of Pain, and he's going to put on that armband once and for all, and he will join the Undisputed Era, and the Undisputed Era will look unstoppable. And the Undisputed Era takes the victory inside War Games. And then, and only then, will they be ready to go into an NXT Tag Team title program with Sanity. As far as Roderick Strong goes, well, if they don't go the Aleister Black route with Drew McIntyre, they could give that title opportunity to either Roderick Strong or Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver Philly, and then possibly, they could give Aleister Black that shot at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned into this video live. Do not forget to like, do not forget to comment, do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to give that notifications bell a phenomenal forearm. Follow me on Instagram at DDog316. Follow me on Twitter at #1 WWE fan. Do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash update this Friday. Do not forget to check out the Survivor Series rundown, which I will be posting on Saturday. And unfortunately, I do have some bad news. I will unfortunately not be tweeting live for NXT TakeOver War Games. I have a family gathering to go to, but do not worry. I'm going to rewatch it all. I'm going to take it all in. I'm going to soak it all in. It's going to be a great time. Trust me. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. This has been The Rundown, and you have a great week. I'll see you on Friday.